So before I do anything, let me just complain to you and tell you how hot it has been in this room. Even though it's not that hot outside, there's no circulation whatsoever. So it's been pretty bad. But wow, look at that background. It's a much more interesting background than I think I've ever had before. It's all my roommate stuff, but still pretty cool, right? Anyway, the reason I'm here today is to talk to you folks about plagiarism. Now, I've got to ask you, at what point do you think plagiarism, like at what point can I say something without having to cite where I learned it from? Because I learned how to write in first grade. Do I have to cite, every time I write something, do I have to cite my first grade teacher or the book or whatever we used to learn how to write? I learned how to do addition every time I cite. Every time I do a math problem, do I have to cite every place I got all that information from? Or at what point does it actually become mine, my information? And the reason I ask is, right now I'm taking U.S. history class. And I took a different U.S. history class in sophomore year of high school. And I took another, and then I've been taking small bits of U.S. history all throughout grade school. So, back in those classes, excuse me, so back in those classes, if I wanted to write a paper and use some information that I read from the book, I had to cite the book. Okay? But now that I'm in this new class, and if I needed to write a paper, and the information I'm using I remembered from the other book, do I have to cite that book from back in high school, or can I just write it down? And if you say, well, you can just write it down because you remember it, does that mean that anything I remember from the book I'm using now I can just write down without citing? Because my guess is if I just took some information out of the book that we're reading now and didn't cite it, my teacher would probably get upset and make me cite it. So I was just wondering what you guys thought about that. I mean, plagiarism is bad, I guess, but if I know it, can't I say it without? They say as long as it's your ideas. Well, really, nothing is our own ideas. We get everything from different parts of our history, so I can't really say anything without putting a little source. So I guess at the end of this video, I should just I should cite my past life as the source for this video. Some people, I'm Mike, and you've been hogged.